Good night, fellow punters. The clock on the wall is 22 minutes past 9 on Friday night. Back with a look at the Sandown card for tomorrow. I think I might have a couple elsewhere. I'm in the Glen Royal Hotel here a couple hours. Trying to go through the racing for tomorrow without looking at my tracker to get distracted. See, just to handicap the races without looking at prices or anything. So I came up with a few. We'll see how it goes. We left Galway this morning. We didn't get going until nearly 10:30. They were a bit groggy. It was 12 or 12:30 when they got home last night, back to the hotel. And it rained on them going home, but they didn't mind. 4 of them had breakfast out at 7. 3 of them didn't. And we pulled in Sean's Bear. They bought plenty of merchandise and had a couple of rounds of drink. Had a good hearing from Timmy about the history of the pub and the locality and moonshine and what have you. It's always very interesting to call in to hear him. We went to Kinnigadden to Bracken's. We had the lunch there. Had a couple of pints of Guinness as well, and a couple of the women not drinking, but the men were harshned into them, and Carlsberg. And then we headed to the hotel. They wanted to go shopping around here, but there's no. I told them to go shopping in Galway this morning. So I seen a couple of the races. They were on the television in Bracken's, which was great. 3 o'clock and 3:35 we seen. Tamfana was second to Dancing Gemini. Tamfana ran a great race. Wasn't off the air today. Thinking of bigger days ahead. It'd be interesting to go with the lock hinge, keep it closer to the pace. It fancy nearly that she's improved. She was given £5 to the as a filly, like to the lads. She ran very well. I was happy with her today. She was 6-1, 13-2, so we got her money back in a bit with it. Similarly with Mount Fungi Park, finished 4th. SP was 9-1. So made a bit of profit on that. And then Coco Mademoiselle. I thought going to the last, I said, oh Jesus, he was meeting it on the wrong stride. Or she was. And I thought I hurled her on the ditch the day that fell, when looked all over just to jump the last to win the race. But she was brave, hosed up. And then I was waiting on a treble and a Trixie with Fort Vega, and you don't stand a chance when you're not in the know. If you look at that race on the 29th of March, when Fort Vega was 3rd, Evelyn Blossom was down here behind it. I handicapped the race on Known Forum. That horse then opened 20-1. Overnight into 6-1, and then it opened at 6-1 in the ring, and SP'd at 7-2, and we got beaten. We looked like we were going to get it, but had an easy lead got, and Dylan Brown McMonigal rode a good race. I thought Keane rode the perfect race coming around the turn for home, and I'd say it traded short in running. I think it went money on. Lord Church was one to keep an eye on it, closing for 3rd for Emmett Mullins. But that Fort Vega, it reminds me of that the horse I was trying to think was Tory Vega last year. That was placed a few times but just couldn't get his nose in front until it went to Jebel Ali this year. So such a pity. Anyway, on to tomorrow. There's a 2-mile race at Ripon. The favourite is Artisan Dancer. But Artisan Dancer has never won on the turf. It has won several times on the Goo. Uh, 16 times we'll say placed out of 26, and only 1 place on turf. And Surry Belle beat it before at Wolverhampton. So the selection is Surry Belle. It's his first run on the turf, on the flat, we'll say, for Adrian Keatley since leaving Huey Morrison. And if you take 40 off 121, that'd be 81. So it's 76, you know, and it's running well. It won twice over hurdles there, and ran well enough in against Gibbs Island and Sheer Gale. Good ground is all right for it. So that'd be the pick in that race. And the 240 at Haydock. It's a very interesting race. This was won last year by our good friend Earls. There's a man I haven't heard from in a while, is Martin Sheridan. Hope he's doing good. Thunder Roar. That was first and second the last day, wasn't it? I thought the horse should take out of that, dropping back to 7. This was over 8. Was Myal for Stephanie Hollinshead. But it didn't stay. Well, it ran well enough.
Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
The centre of the track is Myal, who's just about in front of Pressure's On, who's giving chase. Hard Rock is making ground towards the near side, the green and red. Myal's in front though, with a furlong to go in the Spring Mile. Now the grey Surry Shadow on the far side, and also Arthur's Realm is running on, and Thunder Roar as well, and also Pearl Eye from out of the clouds. Deep inside the last half furlong, here comes Pearl Eye, with Thunder Roar's going to get close. Thunder Roar maybe from Pearl Eye, it's tight. Goes to judge either Thunder Roar or Pearl Eye. In the Spring Mile, it's a close call between them.
Thunder Roar was disqualified. But Myal travelled really strongly up to the last 100 yards, and it was his first run of the season. And it's 2 for 2 at Haydock. Won August and September last year on 2 different sets of ground. That was an improved run, I thought. We have a buddy there, Ramazan. That could run well enough as well tomorrow. That's 2 for 3 at the track. If Myal got too short, you're nearly better back. We're paying 4 places. Well, 7 to 2. I think Ramazan could go well as well tomorrow. Anyway, we want to Sandown. The Novices Championship final is at 120, and Paul Nichols has won 2 out of the last 5. He always targets one for this one. He won with Getaway Trump, and he won with Napper's Hill. I think he has the plot job, and this is his horse. Although he's not in the best of form. But this Sorceleur, this is £10 better off with Serious Challenge. I actually missed Serious Challenge that day. I put it up when a meeting was called off, and I missed it in my notes the last day. I don't know what happened. Because it won at 5 to 1. It drifted from 2s. Won at 5s. But Sorceleur has a £10 pull. They were equal weights that day. I think it was a plot job. There's no point showing the video, so fear they might object to me, and I want to get this up out of the oven fast. So it's there's a few the 1, 2, 3, the top 4 there are meeting again. I thought an each way bet at 15 to 2, 7 to 1, that bracket there for playing 4 places. The 150 is a novice's handicap chase. Well, we have our buddy, old pal, old neighbour, old friend, Riskintheground. Can't desert him. He won at 13 to 2 and 15 to 2. So imagine if he won for us again. He's 4-1 shot. Be the third time in 16 days. 2.5 mile on good ground. He went up £2 for his last win. So we got to stay loyal. But he'll be a legend if he wins tomorrow. He'll be a legend for the skeletons as well, particularly Dan. 4-1 if you get that win bet. 225. The Oaksey Chase. There's a lot of question marks about a lot of these. Appreciated. He was brought down. Classic Getaway. Gaelic Warrior, of course, is the class horse. Won in Aintree. Probably going right-handed suits him better. I thought an outsider. You'll probably say lock him up, lock up that driver. But at a huge price is Hitman. He's 20-1 in places. Like, he was third in this last year. He was pulled up in the Grand National. He never was going to stay 4 miles. 2. But he's consistent as to come. He was behind Fantastic Lady last year. So a suggestion would be, where do we see? Without Gaelic Warrior. It's a sort of a daft bet, but this time of the year, daft bets come through. And he's getting a few pound. Hitman, he's 8-1. So there should be more than that without the fav. What prices is there money for him or what? I thought he was a big. I thought he was 20-1. 18-1. Like it's real. It's gambling, but sometimes you have to do it. On to the 3 o'clock. Kitts Bohel is for Willie is the fav. That hosed up 2 runs back, and then this is an open. It's a 5. What's in it? 6, isn't it? Behind Hidden Valley Lake. Oh yeah, it didn't seem to stay that day, the trip. Back and trip should suit. But might be better at the 2 mile. Where are we here? 3 o'clock. Why did I go there? But a chance is taken with take no chances for the skeletons again. They're going to be trying their damnedest tomorrow. And if you look at this horse, it was third to Lossiemouth in Cheltenham, and it was third to Lossiemouth in Aintree. Beaten 9 lengths, 10 lengths. But how many of those horses would have got any closer? It's worth a shot at a bigger price. 6-1, 5-2. It could be written in the stars that Dan Skelton could win this yet, even though he's 1-20, I think, or the Willie is 1-20. But it's all dependent on the big race, because he had a winner today. I think would he be 60,000 ahead now or something? John Bond has won 5 for 5 all grade 1s at Sandown, including the last 2 runnings of this. He's trying to equal the record of LTR, who won 3. Nico de Bonneville isn't riding. Nico has won 6 out of the last 9, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of the last 8. Oh yeah, I was saying yesterday that if he was going to be 6 for 9, if he was riding this year. The only downside, well, not downside, but you have Mark Walsh riding for the first time. How does he get on with the horse? He's the most likely winner. You could pick again the two 11-year-olds. Energumen, I think, needs it heavier. You could pick, I don't know, something daft to finish second, or without John Bond, you get second and third. Maybe one of the skeletons again at a big price. I wouldn't even at an outrageous price have Harper's Brook. I think was it 100 to 1. You know, it could maybe, if you were looking for a best of 3, it's an outrageous price. But it likes to be covered up, finished late. Onto the Celebration Chase. No, I done that. How come? Yeah, how come that? I don't know. Onto the big race of the day, won last year by Manila Cocooner, more like. But there's a few 9-year-olds in it. 9-year-olds hasn't won it for Yonks with a big weight. 7-year-olds have a great record in the race. Taking a punt on Ollie Murphy's horse that finished like, you'd hear the expression finished from the next parish, but this finished from the next continent in the National Hunt Chase. It was out the back. I can't show the video because it'll be objected to. But it was out the back, way out the back. I mean, in the hallway of the house. And yet, I know there was a couple of fallers, but it's only beaten 11 lengths to Haughty Calours, and that won the Irish Grand National then. Hadn't ran from January, and that was the first time it stayed. You know, that was what, 3-6. This is 3-4. I think it has a good chance. It was an 8 to 1 shot. 7-year-old, lightly rough raced. But they were riding it to get home the last day, and he'll have learned a lot. There's a bit of money for it there. It's 7 to 1. It's only £1 out of the handicap, and there's a lot of them out of the handicap. So normally horse out of the handicap shouldn't be in the reckoning at all. High Class Hero could be the classiest, but taking a shot at it with Resplendent Grey, which will help the skeletons in their endeavours. If it comes down to the last, I think the horse that could win this is Bunting, the top weight. Didn't settle in the Scottish Champion Hurl, was pulled up before that, but they're not bringing it over, and Tony Bloom, nothing in have him blooming better than to be winning the last one. Skeleton is favourite for this. That one in Plumpton, wasn't it? I think Bunting could be classier. It's an each way poke as well. So anyway, I'll have to get this into the oven. An early start in the morning. Breakfast on a Saturday morning here is not at 8 o'clock. I was hoping for 7:30, so we're leaving at 8:15. So the bags will be packed in the bus outside before we have a bit of breakfast. It'll be, well, we're not in that big of a rush anyway, because it's Saturday and the flight isn't until I think it's 11:30. So not too bad. If we're on the road at 8:30, will be good enough. Have a creak in my neck. Anyway, bash the bookies, over and out.